Happy 4th of July. It's an Independence Day special, Section 420, Talkin Yankees. And there's nothing more American than bitching and moaning about the New York Yankees. Just a small hot coffee. So up late last night watching the Yankees on the West Coast. They began their latest road trip in San Diego, dropping the first game 7-6. Now they were down 7-2, fought back hard, but fell short and couldn't get it over the hump. But really, with these West Coast games, they got to start them early to compensate for people on the East Coast. I mean, out on the West Coast, they don't care about baseball. And the main reason they lost last night is because, yet again, Nathan Eovaldi got bombed early in the game. This is like 5-6 starts in a row where right out of the gate, he gives up 5-6 runs and the team's in the hole. I don't want to give up on the guy. He's only 25, 26 years old, throws the hardest of all starters in the entire league, but you can't keep putting the team in the hold. So if the Yankees are going to make a run at this thing, they need more stability here. I don't know, maybe you're going to trade him. I mean, he's not a guy you could put in the bullpen. He's too valuable, but you can't have a guy who can go in there and get blasted every time. But now the loss puts them back where they started. They're under 500 again. Ugh. They're trapped with the same issue, not enough consistent offense. Now, despite calls from the media as well as fans saying that they should trade off Beltran, trade off Chapman, give up on the season, the Yankee front office has been pretty adamant. They're still in this. They want to be buyers and they want to go for it. Whether it's a wild card, AL East, whatever, they just want to get into the playoffs. You know what? And I agree. As long as you're within the earshot, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the fans, you owe it to everybody to at least get a shot for the playoffs. Who knows what happens once you get in? Now, Michael Pineda's been a little better. He has stabilized himself. Nova, I'm a little worried about. You know, he got off to a good start when they put him into the rotation. Now he's been struggling lately. So really we have CC, okay, Tanaka competent, Pineda getting better. But now Nova and Eovaldi, those guys are two automatic losses. And again, if they want to get over 500 and catch some of those other teams above them, they got to get some starters in there. They're going to be a little more stable, a little more reliable. Okay, so Mark Teixeira did return. They actually shot some fake cartilage gel into his knee to sort of keep him propped up. And his first 2 games back, he hit back-to-back home runs. But he even admitted himself he's only going to be able to play a few days and then he's going to need to sit down. So I'm glad to have him back. He's going to bop in a home run, but the idea that he was going to come back and be the savior and crush 30 home runs, that's totally not happening. Just want to see if I can still do that, but now back to the Yankees. But Beltran's value might have taken a hit. He did tweak his hammy this week. Now, MRI test said it was fine. They're taking it very precautiously, especially them being in San Diego and playing in the National League Park. That being said, hold on to the guy. Don't trade him. So this past week, the Texas Rangers came to town, and they were a pretty good litmus test for the Yankees. They came in as one of the best teams in baseball, and it was an opportunity for the Yankees and as well as the squad just to see, you know what, is this team for real or not? So put them against the best. So what they do, at the end, a 2-2 split, which is like, ho-hum, you accept that, but the way I see it, really, the Yankees won 3 out of 4 of those games. Let's take the first game, that rain delay disaster where they made the Yankees play till like 2:30 in the morning. I mean, that was ridiculous. Anyway, 9th inning, you had Chapman on the mound with a 6-5 lead. I consider that a win. Then all of a sudden, the rains come down from the heavens. Like, it was like Noah's Ark. There was floods all over the place. That was a gift for Texas. So I don't count that as a Yankee loss. I count that as a Yankee win. Second game, all right, the Yanks legit lost, got beat. Cole Hamels, best of CC, fine, tip your cap. Third game, we're down 7-2. We storm back in the 8th and 9th inning, take the lead on a Didi Gregorius walk-off home run. Then the final game, we win 2-1. Pineda pitches great, and then we get a walk-off slide home by Chase Headley of all people. Still not buying the jersey, by the way. So that tells me that the Yankees really won 3 out of the 4 games against the best team in the American League. That's why I say that this team is close. It's right there. I mean, a few guys got to start hitting better, but that's why you should not give up on the season. So in that game, 9th inning, the Yankees have a lead 6-5, but it's pouring rain. You can't play baseball in this. And Chapman has no control. So Girardi comes out of the dugout, and I thought it was a good move at the time. He tried to get the umps to call the game then and there, or at least delay it. So they bring the tarp out, they cover the field, and Girardi was hoping that it would keep raining, it was in the forecast, and then the umps would go, you know what, call the game, give the Yankees a victory. That's what he was thinking. Blew up in his face, because not only did they continue the game, when normally they continue the game the next day when you could bring your starter back, they wanted to continue the game that night, so it didn't kick off again until like 2:30 in the morning. Well, you couldn't use Chapman anymore, you couldn't use Miller anymore, you couldn't use Bentances anymore, so they put out one of the scrubs. Texas knocked the guy around, we ended up losing the game. I don't blame Girardi. It was worth a shot, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains. Now, you should take a little caution with CC Sabathia's ankle. 2 starts ago, he did tweak it, but in his last start this week, he did come back, faced Texas, only gave up 2 runs, so hopefully it's not any major issue. And one way you can inject a little consistent power into this offense has been the kids, mainly Aaron Judge. Now, he got off to a bad start in the minors, but he has been hitting better lately, and it seems a little desperation in Girardi's voice. He even hinted that we could use any help we could get, and don't be surprised if you see Aaron Judge up here pretty soon, especially if Beltran continues to have hamstring problems in right field. You can put him in there, and he has a lot of power. And the other kid, Rob Ruffschneider, is still doing great. He's battling nearly 300, whatever position they put him in. Again, playing him at some first base, but now with Luis Severino perhaps coming up here, they might have to send him back down. I hope they don't, because he's a good right-handed bat, and we need him, because other guys like A-Rod aren't cutting it. And A-Rod's no longer the automatic for Joe Girardi when it comes to filling up the lineup card. Mainly because of his putrid hit against right-handed pitchers, as well as the success of Carlos Beltran, who's doing great, having an MVP season, but he's 39. You need to use a DH spot for him. So if this guy ain't performing, you got to put him in a platoon situation, which they've done. Now, lately over a few games, he has been hitting the ball harder, so maybe starting to turn around. But again, the days of A-Rod being in there all the time, no questions whatsoever, those days are over. And Didi Gregorius has turned into the Yanks' all-around best player, offense and defense. In fact, for his left-handed hitting, he's the best hitter against left-handed pitching in the entire league. No one saw that coming. Great transition from a year ago when he was Mr. Brain Fart. The Yanks got to put a winning streak together if they want any chance of staying in this AL East race. And this place is going to get a little lonely. The Yanks are on the road for pretty much all of July. The Yankees are mired as a 500 team. But you know what? It's July 4th. Enjoy yourself. Get out to the beach.